Alright, ladies and gentlemen, EVANESCIA of course did just release recently. We attempted to go for her E1, we only got her E0. We did an E0S0 showcase alongside our Nova Flared Firefly to see if we could clear MOC in the fastest we ever have on this account. And today we're doing something a bit different. We're going to be testing her out in all 3 endgame modes. We're only going to be focusing on the clears in which we are using our E0S0 EVANESCIA with a full E0S0 team, including EMC, because this is the ult account where I have not full SOD every endgame mode for a good while now. I think it's been since a Nexa release, if I'm not mistaken. Well, something along that timeline, 3.3, 3.4-ish, I think was the last time we cleared all 3 endgame modes. So today we're going to try unbrick our account with our savior, EVANESCIA. Like I said, all units here are E0S0. We're going to start off with MOC into APOC Shadow into Pure Fiction. We did actually end up getting an E1 EVANESCIA literally today, but we're not going to be showcasing that for a while. I'm going to be holding off on using those Eidolons for the time being. But yeah, enjoy the E0S0 showcase. Let's hop right into it. But real quick, if you don't pull for EVANESCIA or any future Planet Cadia characters, then I have the perfect thing for you, and that's today's sponsor, Lootbar.gg. Lootbar is officially back with more secure systems and updated payment methods, so you can top up in games like HSR and Genshin for cheaper, as you can use the code LOCKUP for 5% off on your purchases, and you can receive double on your first top up bonus as you would in-game with the HSR 3rd anniversary. And they have thousands of positive reviews on Trustpilot, so they are trustworthy, and I've used their services myself before. Their services are safe, simple, and secure. All you have to do is enter in your UID and your region in order to get your purchases. So be sure to check out Lootbar with the link in the description. Back to the video. Alright, well then, here we are on the MOC half. If you're wondering why I'm not starting right from the beginning, it is because I died, unfortunately. The EVANESCIA team is slightly squishier because we don't have a shielder here and we don't have Hyacinth increasing our max HP. So, you know, someone like EMC has quite low HP. Luckily, our EVANESCIA is on a HP orb. Anyway, we're just gonna basic attack on our Yao Guang. We're gonna get hit here and hopefully get our Yao Guang ultimate. Yes, we do. Perfect. Okay, so what we're gonna go ahead and do here first is basic attack on our Ho-Ho to get our ultimate active. We're gonna use Yao Guang ultimate, which should generate certified banger for our EVANESCIA so that she does more damage. Also, EMC is gonna take her turn. This is gonna give us EMC's ultimate. Never mind, it doesn't give us EMC's ultimate. So what we're gonna have to do is we are gonna have to go ahead and ult on our Ho-Ho. You know, if the enemies don't hit you, then you'll just use Yao Guang and EMC ult after Ho-Ho's ultimate. At least this is the way I do it. If I manage to get my Yao Guang ultimate from getting hit and then my EMC from getting hit by and then my EMCs, then I normally activate it. So anyway, we used our ult so that we can buff up our EVANESCIA, and she hit for 982k there, which we will take. This isn't even going to be her biggest hit either. Yao Guang hits for 300k here, EMC for 100k, and then EVANESCIA for 384k. And now we're going to go ahead and pop her skill, pop her ult, and there we go. We are now doing it with a lot more certified banger, and we have hit for 1.1 million this time, which we love to see. Remember, this is E0S0 Yao Guang, E0S0 EMC, E0S0 Ho-Ho, E0S0 EVANESCIA. Like I said, I have been absolutely farming to get her Eidolons. You know, originally I wasn't going to, but then, you know, I did a few stuff here and there, and then I realized, wait, I'm actually getting quite a bit of Stellar Jades here. So I ended up doing the first act of the 4.0 Planet Cadia story. I did the Luminary War Dance because I hadn't done that on this account. Actually, real quick, let me look in here, because when I did die in our last run, but I did actually manage to clear it. I did 0 cycle the first half, which, let's see, will this ultimate kill 1.1? No, the ultimate does not kill. If you go back to the ad read, you will actually see there is the footage of us 0 cycling the first half. So we actually probably could save 1 cycle here. So whatever the final score is, it's possible to get it in 1 slower, although we just weren't able to in this showcase, which is definitely odd in my opinion. I don't know what I did differently. That last time I managed to 0 cycle and this time I didn't, but oh well. You know, there is proof I did 0 cycle. It is definitely possible with this team to 0 cycle the first half. Also, if you had some EMC Eidolons, then you definitely would have 0 cycled this, but like I said, I only just did the Planet Cadia story today, so didn't have it in time for the footage. But yeah, we did like the Luminary War Dance, once. I did the that fighting event in Amphorius, which is quite short, with the hard mode, the challenge mode, stuff like that. I touched Swarm Disaster for the first time. I cleared like the first 4 stages because that gave us a ton of rewards. I also did it for the brand new Divergent Universe as well. I did the Unknowable Domain a little bit. I didn't touch Golden Gears because that didn't give as much, unfortunately. So, yeah. It definitely wasn't as bad farming as I thought. Originally, I wasn't going to do it like whatsoever because I thought it was going to be absolutely horrible, but it actually turns out that it wasn't that bad. Okay, we're going to go ahead and skill here on our EMC, generate a bit more Surfite Bangers, skill on Warford, generate a bit more energy because we do have her on Shed Feeling. I'm not quite sure right now if I want to ult straight away. I think I'm going to wait. Yeah, I'm going to save to use my ultimate until after we generate the punchline from this, I think. Let's see, 57%, and we got, yeah, okay, we only got 2 energy from, okay, never mind, we did overcap a bit on energy. Okay, my bad, maybe slight misplay there. Anyway, we ult for about 700k here. Skill for 200. I could use our ult here, but I don't think I want to quite yet. Okay, please don't die, thank you. Yeah, I will say, I am very curious what they will do with the future Elation units. My prediction is that Nihilux will either be next, today we just got Himiko revealed, so that's interesting. She's not an Elation unit, which is also interesting. I'm so curious what they're going to do with Himiko. I don't know if she's going to work well with Blade and Ashvale, or if she's going to work well with just Ashvale or just Blade. I hope it's Blade and Ashvale, and then I'll just pull her on my main account. If she doesn't work with those two, I'll probably pull her on my old account. We're so broke right now, but maybe we'll manage to make it work. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, we've overcapped on energy a bit again, but it shouldn't be by too much. So I think it's not the end of the world. We're ulting for about 670k here again. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pop 4 ult, get some more charge for our ultimate. We're gonna Yaoguang skill her as well to generate even more Surfite Banger. And then with all that Surfite Banger, after that we can probably use a skill, still have some energy left over, I think, I'm not sure. Let's see, okay, and at the end we have, okay, that number keeps popping up in this showcase. Okay, we ult, 766k, nice, we can skill here. Let's see, can we ult as well? No, we can't. Okay, so actually it would have been better if I skilled and then ulted, but I was just scared of overcapping. But yeah, like I said, that's what we're going to do with Himiko. Depends on who she synergizes with. If she has a unique team slash, you know, if she uses, I don't know, an Astral Express team, or if she uses Himiko, or if she, if she uses Herta, or if she uses Anexa, then we'll pull her on this account. Otherwise, we'll pull her on the main account, especially if she works, because, you know, we're definitely getting Blade on the main account. Obviously, we already have our Ashvale there. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what they're going to do teams-wise with Himiko. We also we want to know what happens with, for example, my prediction is that Pearl will probably be an Elation sustain, although I feel like they're not gonna, I feel like they're only gonna make Pearl work with Silverwolf, not with Evanescia, I feel like, because I think Silverwolf basically already has her complete team, because I don't think they're gonna replace Yaoguang, I don't think they're gonna replace Sparksy, so maybe Nihilux will be a support to replace EMC, coming out at the end with the Fugue or Cyrene, and then maybe Pearl will be the final slot in the Silverwolf team. I'm not sure. We'll see what they go ahead and do. But yeah, there we go. That is the clear. We managed to clear in 3 cycles, which, you know what, we'll take it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the APOC run now. Alright then, and here we are in Apocalyptic Shadows. We did get 3.5k with our Firefly team on the first half. I'm pretty sure that Evanescence, like, the first half is shilled for Elation units, but I didn't really have a team for the second half. I would have used the Herta, but like, she first of all, my Herta isn't the best. Second of all, Herta kinda fell off even against these kind of enemies. So yeah, we used Firefly in the first half to actually pretty solid effect. I also should have mentioned we used Firefly on the first half for MOC as well. So yeah, pretty good results, all things considered. We're gonna play this very similarly to how we played it in MOC as well. So we're gonna go ahead and use Ho-Ho ult to get our Yaoguang and EMC ultimates. I should have popped my EMC ult a bit earlier. We're gonna waste a little bit of energy here. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have. I think we're gonna overcap a bit of energy on Evanescia as well here after this Surfite Banger. Okay, nearly, not quite. This is going to give us basically 100% crit rate, so we do get the Mr. Fox action, which will decrease their elation, make them more vulnerable to elation damage. We hit for a lot of damage here. I'm not going to be reading out the damage numbers because in APOC Shadow, depending on the buffs, they're always inflated and stuff like that. But although, actually, I will say, the main APOC Shadow buff is shilling elation, although none of the buffs we can choose are, so that's actually pretty cool. So, this is a more realistic Evanescia showcase because, like I said, we don't have any elation buffs, and we're also not fighting the elation shield boss, which, hey, so these results definitely could be better if we used it on the other half, but hey, where's the fun in that? Also, I want to clear all the endgame modes, so I want to make sure both teams are maximizing their effectiveness, not destroying a side on one half and then getting destroyed on the other half. But yeah, I will say definitely very excited to see how Evanescia pans out in the future. I have great things, I have very high hopes for her, and even if things don't end up aging all that well, we have her E1 ready to unlock, which, I'm not going to unlock it straight away. I'm not going to unlock it for the 4.2 Memory of Curse when that comes out, I don't think. Okay, we're going to skill here, generate a bit more Surfite Banger, and then we can go ahead and use our ultimate just to deal a bit more extra damage. Also, our stats, 100% crit rate, 310 crit damage as well, and then you could also see the Surfite Banger there without having to stare at the bottom left of the screen. But okay, I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, E1 ready to activate. By the way, can I just say her E1, I think, is the most insane E1 on a main DPS. Actually, I think Aglaya's E1 is like the biggest damage increase, but then Aglaya's base damage isn't as high as Evanessia's base damage. So when we're looking at all E1 DPSs, I think Evanescia is the strongest, which is, very fun for us. I'm glad we picked her up on the ult account. Honestly, when it comes to her performance versus Silverwolf, I've actually been enjoying Evanessia's gameplay. Not just her gameplay, but also her team a bit more than Silverwolf's one. I feel like you have more agency in an Evanescia team. I feel like the only agency you have in Silverwolf's team is deciding when you want to use her ult, depending on how much MMR you have, which I find to be more of an annoying minigame than it is agency, slash, it's definitely got a bit of skill expression in there. I just find it more frustrating than Evanescia. I feel like Evanescia does feel a bit more rewarding to play. There we go, we break the weakness bar of the Swarm boss, so we should be absolutely destroying them with our Evanescia ults. Also, results-wise, we won in our first Evanescia showcase. We actually one-cycled the first half of MOC. With Silverwolf, we did that in 2 cycles, and now the Kafka boss we did in 3 cycles. Although it definitely could have been 2 cycles. Whereas with Silverwolf, we cleared it in 3 cycles. I don't have Wawa for Silverwolf's team, although I don't think Dunhung PT is that big of a downgrade, because Silverwolf herself doesn't benefit that much from Wawa. The main benefit is I'd say probably Sparksy and Yaogong, but Sparksy is getting some buffs from our DHPT anyway, because I do have her in the first one, so she's getting like Lushaka and is actually I think Silverwolf is the bond mate. Actually, wait, now that I think, okay, maybe we could have improved our Silverwolf's clears as well, but so maybe a slightly more optimized Silverwolf would clear as fast as my Evanescia, but my Evanescia. So yeah, right now Evanescia is clearing faster than Silverwolf. If I optimize my Silverwolf a bit more, then they'd probably clear the same, I'd say. But yeah, I will say for someone who has, I'd say, not as many teammates dedicated for them, I'm actually very happy with Evanescia's gameplay. I'm not here to argue, which one's better. Well, actually, I will be arguing which one's better, which one's worse, when it's time to make the tier list for version 3.2. So be on the lookout for that. That will be coming in the near future. But for the time being, I'm not here to start war. First of all, I want to do a bit more testing before that happens. But for the time being, I will say, I don't think they feel both very strong. I slightly lean towards Evanescia myself, although I'd say they're both in the same strength bracket at the moment. I'd say they're both in the top 3 DPSs in the game right now. I would say, I'd put Casterus in there, and then I'd put our 2 elation units. So, basically most of the main pushes. Yeah, that's my personal opinion, but yeah, Evanescia has just been so fun to play. I'm yapping a bit more during the APOC runs because I feel like APOC is just a bit more of an autopilot game mode than I feel like Pure Fiction and MOC I need to lock in a bit more APOC than APOC Shadow. APOC Shadow just feels like, okay, let's shill the every endgame mode is like, oh yeah, let's shill the newest character, but APOC Shadow is like, okay, let's shill the brand new character to high heavens. By the way, we have over 1000 Surfite Banger, which, hey, if you ask me, that's a banger. Yeah, this boss is slightly annoying, but I think it's our Evanescia will still clear just fine. But yeah, man, I am so glad we got this E1. Like I said, I did mention at the beginning of playing Acadia that maybe I'll keep E0S0 only my, because both my main and my old account are free to play, of course, but my main account has been E0S0 since release. Originally it was going to be only S0, and then I was maybe going to pick up E1s, but then over time I just figured, you know what, E0S0 showcases, I want to be as relatable as I can, while still using 5 stars, not limiting myself in terms of 5 stars, but limiting myself in terms of Eidolons as well as Lightcons, just because, you know, not everyone wants to pull for a Lightcon or for an Eidolon. They just want to own their favorite units, and I want to try make endgame clearable, using that as an approach, which I have been able to do, which I am very happy with. I feel like I'm saying very happy a lot, but hey, today I'm just in a great mood because I have my EVANESCIA E1, and now I'll get to farm all over again for either Himiko or whatever the next unit in EVANESCIA's team is going to be. Isn't that fun? But yeah, I am curious. I like I said, I don't know whether Astropolis is going to be like the second half of version 4, or if it's going to be like Plain Arcadia, Astropolis, and then go back to Plain Arcadia, and then like go back to Amphorius. I'm not sure. Because, you know, if maybe we'll be in Astropolis for 3 or 4 versions, in which case I'd say Nihilux is probably going to come out soon, and then after that you'll have like Pearl, and then any other IPC, SPs, stuff like that. Or if it happens in the middle, then we'll probably see like Himiko into IPC, so like Pearl, and then whatever other SPs we have, and maybe more 10 Stonehearts. I don't know, although I doubt they'd release more than one. I'd say we're more likely to see like SPs, and then we also have. And then we'll go back to Plain Arcadia, and then maybe we'll get Nihilux, who, like I said, maybe she'll be the Fugue / Cyrene, where she kind of replaces HMC / RFC, and then EVANESCIA will get a new teammate. But honestly, I feel like Huohuo is just so good for EVANESCIA that I don't see them making an Elation Sustain, presumably Pearl, for her. I feel like the Elation Sustain is more likely going to be for Silverwolf, and then I don't think they're going to want to get rid of Sparksy and Yaogong from Silverwolf's team, because I feel like Yaogong is just so good for both of them, although maybe they'll get rid of Yaogong for one of them and make her only good for the other. Maybe they'll replace Yaogong for Silverwolf and then keep her only for EVANESCIA, or vice versa. I'm not sure. I'd say Yaogong is probably just as useful for both, which is why, honestly, like I said, we're looking to vertically invest a bit more on this count, especially on this team. And, you know, I was thinking maybe a Yaogong E1, but, you know, I can't be 100% sure that Yaogong is always going to be the best in slot support for EVANESCIA, so I feel like I just rather vertically invest in EVANESCIA for the time being, and then also get a solid second half team. Right now, our second half team is Firefly, who after the Nova Flare is looking to be doing very, very, very well. She feels so good to play now. You know, in the past I've had some issues with Firefly, but nowadays I'd say that she just feels absolutely incredible to play right now. You know, thanks to Dahlia, as well as thanks to Nova Flare, you know, I'd say especially the Blast Fire Implant feels very nice, in my humble opinion. So yeah, Firefly very strong right now. The problem is, I feel like when vertically investing in Firefly teams, I don't think Firefly's E1, I don't think it's that impactful. Dahlia's E1, I don't think it's that impactful. Linksha E1, I don't think it's that impactful. Maybe Dahlia's E1 is a bit more impactful. I actually forgot what Dahlia's E1 is, but I know when people talk about vertically investing in Super Break teams, they normally talk about E2, so like E2 Firefly, E2 Dahlia, stuff like that, whereas I don't want to pull E2s, I'm only looking to pull E1s right now. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be vertically investing in Super Break. I'm not sure if I should just trust in Hoyo to keep shitting Super Break, because there's no way they're going to let a whole archetype as well as one of the fan favorite characters die, because obviously, you know, Firefly is like one of Hoyo versus Darlings. By the way, just here trying to spam out as much punchline as we can before we go ahead to nuking the boss straight up with our EVANESCIA ults. But yeah, I feel like maybe Fugue feels like a really weird character right now, where she doesn't feel that much better than HMC. Like, the only reason to pull Fugue is if you're using a lot of R/EMC. Otherwise, HMC is like very competitive with Fugue, so I feel like Fugue Nova Flare probably gonna come out sometime soon, and then maybe we'll also get a Linksha Nova Flare. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen with the Break team. I feel like Hoyo will just keep it alive with Nova Flares and stuff like that. Although once they've Nova Flared every single character in that team, I don't know what they're gonna do after that. Maybe that's when Firefly is gonna die. Maybe she'll join Akron. In obscurity right now, although maybe Akron will get a comeback. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw Nexa, for some reason I thought the next was gonna be a Nihility unit, which was gonna be great for Akron, but obviously he wasn't. Technically Cypher didn't end up being that, but I don't think Cypher, I'm pretty sure Cypher got quite a few nerfs in her beta, if I recall correctly. I haven't really been following character beta. The character betas I followed Mighty a lot, and then after that I kind of followed Casterist, and I kind of followed whoever would be good for Casterist, and then after that I didn't follow as much until Cyrene, because Alicia fanboy, HI free, Alicia my beloved, and then also after that, I didn't really follow the Sparksy stuff. I followed Evanescia's a bit, and then Silverwolf's a bit, although I'd say Mr. Brand New Blady, I've been having quite a few dreams about him, and I will say I am very much looking forward to him coming out. We have 1100 Surfite Banger here, so we're looking at a big ultimate. Okay, that's some nice damage, and there we go, all the bugs die, so there you go, we have it. We cleared in just over 1300 AV, which is just about average for APOC, which I'll take it for the non-chilled side. And with that being said, full stars on Apocalyptic Shadow, let's go ahead and hop into Pure Fiction to try to do the same. Alright then, and finally here we are on Pure Fiction using a Herta, Tribi, and Echo team. We got 24k on the first half, so we made it onto the final boss, but not ideal. Then again, I mean, it's close enough to 25k. We just need to hit about, we just need to get like 36k, so we need to get a pretty, we don't need a perfect clear, we just need a pretty good clear, which hopefully we can get here. Like I said, I feel like we'll need to be maybe a bit more locked in here than we will for Apocalyptic Shadow, because this is once again a game mode which has cycles instead of just AV. I feel like cycles is way more fun than just AV, but hey, what do I know, I suppose. Actually, maybe I could just go ahead and maybe I should have popped our Evanescia ult before the AHA instant, because this is the first hour of Pure Fiction. The enemy HP is not that high. I don't feel like we need to maximize our damage as much as we are. We're gonna overcap here a bit on energy, so off to a great start. I said how we were gonna be more locked in, and I guess I lied. Let's see. Do we overcap on energy here? Yeah, we do. That's unfortunate, but oh well. We'll just have to go ahead and deal with it. But yeah, honestly, I will say I feel, in case you guys haven't realized, I don't really do Pure Fiction and Apoc Shadow showcases anymore. First of all, I was really busy in recent times, so I just haven't had the time to, I haven't had the time to post that kind of stuff. And then at the same time, I've also just kind of lost interest in them a bit. They've, Pure Fiction and Apoc Shadow, they used to be like, MOC was like your overall how strong your unit is, although it's kind of more blast oriented. It used to be dominated by destruction characters back in 1.0, and that was still kind of the case. Those, characters who are great in blast were the ones who are best in Memory of Chaos for a good while, but then when version 3.0 came out, they added AoE meta. But anyway, that's Pure Fiction. It feels, obviously it's always gonna, Pure Fiction will always be AoE, but I feel like with the HP inflation, it feels like units who just do AoE aren't as good anymore, and what you need is units who are just strong, not necessarily Pure Fiction specialists, but also just straight up strong, like I don't know, like a Silverwolf, like an Evanescia, like a Casterist team, like an Evernight team, like a Dot team. These aren't necessarily Pure Fiction teams. They work in all three endgame modes, but they're also so strong that they also work in Pure Fiction. And then Apoc Shadow, it used to be, at first we thought it was a single target mode, then during the peak of the break meta, it was like a break mode, and then at version 3.x, it became everything was just AoE, because they were shitting AoE characters, because Rappa came out, then Herta, and then Aglaya was decent in AoE as well. So then it was like, oh my god, there's so much AoE in Apoc Shadow. Apoc Shadow lost its identity a long time ago. I'd say nowadays it's basically just the most shill heavy endgame mode, other than Anomaly Arbitration, but I don't even do Anomaly Arbitration because it just takes so long. Like doing all the king stages and then the main stage as well, it just takes so long. I haven't done Anomaly Arbitration literally since it released, just because I can't be asked. Although maybe I'll start doing it again. Maybe I will. I've been actually more interested in Star Rail as of recent times. I did play through the 4.1 and 4.2 quest. Obviously I feel like Amphoris will be the peak of HSR for a very long time, but playing Acadia has been great fun, and I'm really enjoying the story from 4.1, 4.2. 4.1 was 4.0 was like okay, it was kind of setting us up, but then 4.1, 4.2 have like genuinely been great. I've enjoyed them so much, especially the characters, stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, right now we are on the second wave, but man, is this a breeze. We haven't even had to use a whole cycle yet. So yeah, kind of crazy. Like I said, the buffs in Pure Fiction now are so strong that if you're not using a character, even if you're using a Pure Fiction character, but they can't take advantage of the specific buffs, whether they're for Relation, Memo Sprites, or Dot, or Break, then it just feels like you should have just pulled for those archetypes instead of pulling for a specific Pure Fiction unit. Obviously, like for example, Herta Jade will always be strong just because they're so insane in AoE, stuff like that. But I feel like other than that, there's very few pure fiction specialists. It's also been a while since they've released a unit who's like good in specifically 1 or 2 endgame modes, but then really bad in a third one. I feel like whenever a character releases, you'll see the one Pride one triple tier 0 or triple tier 0 and then 2 tier 0.5s. I feel like the last time we saw a unit be not that good in pure fiction was Archer, I'd say. But then Archer with Yao Guang was actually, for a while, was actually decent in pure fiction, funny enough. I feel like the last unit we saw not be great in all endgame modes is probably Saber, and that's just because she's bad in every endgame mode. I think Saber is my biggest regret on this account. I can't believe I got baited into pulling Saber on this account. I thought they were gonna make the limited collab character good, and then there are talks maybe there'll be another Fate collab. Unless Saber's support is free, I don't think I'm pulling for them. Although then again, I guess if there was like one unit good with Archer who you have to pull for because Archer was already free, and then one unit who's free that's good for Saber, I feel like that would actually save Saber. I feel like she needs a free-to-play support. Like she's bad enough that I don't think you can justify pulling on her on a banner which does not carry over pity. So like if for example comes out during Himiko's version, then I think I'd rather pull for Himiko than try revive my Saber, because I have more faith in Himiko's longevity than I do Saber's longevity. Oh my god, I feel so stupid for pulling her. I always make stupid decisions on my ult accounts when it comes to pulling characters. I mean, on my ult account in Genshin, oh my god, I pulled Mizuki. That was a horrible idea. I thought people were doom posting her way too hard. Turns out, no, she genuinely was just a really bad unit. I have not used her in Spiral Abyss since her release, and I kind of did the same with Saber. Although, yeah, that was quite bad. Also, low-key, I kind of wish I pulled for Aglaya instead of Herta, and then also pulling for her E1, because genuinely, you guys might not know this, but the character I honestly wish I had the most in the game, which, I don't own at any level of vertical investment, isn't like, oh yeah, E6 Blade, because obviously that would be cool, but, that's too obvious of an answer. Getting, like, good stuff for, like, a Blade Ashvale team would be very obvious, because those are, like, 2 of my favorite characters in the game, but, like, if I were to choose, like, something that isn't related to Blade, I'd probably say an E1 Aglaya with an S1 Sunday, plus Cyrene, plus Dunhung, plus Hua after Nova Flares. Aglaya is just a character I feel so bad for. I honestly wish that I pulled for her E1, because I love those kind of underrated characters. I am a Blade main. I really like Mighty as well. Mighty, Ashvale, Blade, probably my top 3 characters in HSR. Male characters in HSR, not including Acheron, Cyrene, and then probably Evanescia now in 3rd place as well. Originally I was Casterus in 3rd. Now it's probably Evanescia in 3rd, if I'm being entirely honest. But yeah, as I was saying, also, we cleared the first 2 stages really easily. I thought we were actually going to get 40k points here, but we're actually clearing quite slow when it comes to this enemy here, which that's just the case with every single pure fiction right now. The first 2 waves aren't that bad, but then the 3rd one is what's really going to make or break your run. But yeah, E1 Aglaya, S1 Sunday with Hua off post Nova Flare, plus a thingy, plus a Cyrene just feels like would have been so good. I genuinely just feel so bad for Aglaya, because like Aglaya for example, Casterus, she got Hyacinth next version in 3.3. Then she got Evernite in 3.6 and Cyrene in 3.7. Boom, there's your complete team. Aglaya got Cyrene in 3.7, Hua Nova Flare in 4.2, and then you also have to pull her E1. And then, I don't think you need Sunday's S1, but Sunday's S1 is pretty good as well. So it's like, oh my, I just feel so bad for Aglaya. I wish I had an E1 Aglaya. But, back then I wasn't vertically investing in accounts. And I think the reason why I pulled Herta first was just to capitalize on the Amphoreus hype, I think. Because if I recall correctly, Herta was on the first half, I believe. I think I was just going to pull for whoever was on the first half. I genuinely wish that Aglaya was in the first half. I would not have pulled for Herta otherwise, I'm pretty sure. Although maybe I would have, because Herta was being touted as like, oh my god, insane unit. Actually, yeah, I think I would have pulled for Herta anyway, because I don't think I picked up Sunday on his original banner ever. I think I picked Sunday up on rerun because of Saber. Oh god. Or maybe it was because of Anexa. I don't remember, because I do actually really enjoy Anexa main DPS as well. Like, the teams I used on this game before Evanescia was Anexa plus Firefly, and then once I got those free Sparkle, then it was Firefly plus Archer, and now it's Evanescia plus either Firefly or Archer, Or maybe instead of Archer, maybe Alexa as well. We'll see. Depends on the endgame mode. But I think Evanescia will be in every single run we do for probably the next year, if not more, because obviously we can activate that E1. But anyway, I do want to lock in here a bit right at the end, because you know I'm not entirely sure if we're clearing with 60k here. We need a 60k clear. I think we're gonna go ahead and select Hua for this. Just because she does have the highest base HP, so I'm not scared of her dying. Although, you know, I guess getting hit for Evanescia would be nice for the energy, I suppose. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop the skill here. Like so, and then, okay, we are going to get our ultimate on our Yao Guang again. We also have an aha instant coming up, so I think we're gonna go ahead and pop this ultimate here. Let the aha instant play out, generate the certified banger from that. Then we'll go ahead and use our Evanescia ult. I think that will bring us about 90% towards our next ultimate. At the end of it, let's see. We are 82%. Okay, close enough. 8% off. Alright, let's see. A lot of damage on the ult. We kill one summon, which is nice. Go ahead and alter, which will generate more certified banger, and then of course certified banger becomes energy for Evanescia, because, you know, absolute queen. We have run out of the Resurging Tide. But we can maybe get back into it to deal a bit more damage. We're at 59k, so actually 60k is looking doable, which means that we would have freestarred every single endgame mode for the first time in months on this account. So Evanescia officially, E0S0 EVANESCIA, full E0S0 team has officially unbricked our account. When we can finally unlock EMC's E2, in the future E4, but for the time being I'm just going to be happy with the E2 because it's still an upgrade. And then also soon our Evanescia's E1 as well. There we go. Perfect. There we go. There you have it. 60k just about. Evanescia carried us. Time to move on to the character builds and outro. Well then, let's just say I am incredibly happy with Evanescia, even E0S0, including with an E0S0 EMC, who like I said, I did farm a bit, so now EMC is E2, but I have not activated any of those yet. So yeah, this is our Evanescia build right now. Real quick, just going through all the speeds. 156 speed on Evanescia, 170 on Yao Guang, and then 162 on EMC. This will give our AHA a speed of 137, like I mentioned previously, which is what allows us to use skill on Evanescia after AHA, and then ult just before all of the certified banger goes away to maximize her damage. When it comes to her stats, 70% crit, 213 crit damage, which in battle becomes about 310 once we include all our buffs. S5 of the event Lightcon, traces maxed out, relics looking like so. Although I will say these are an old relic set. Now this is what I was using in the video. At the end I will showcase you my new Evanescia build, which I am very proud of. So yeah, this is how the pieces are looking. Great piece here, great piece here. Could do a bit better on these pieces. You know, they're good enough. We do hit the 100 to 210 ratio, which I looked for, which is nice. But like I said, that's not a finalized build, and here we have our unactivated E1. Yao Guang looking like so, 83% correct, so she does get that 100 in battle, 30% elation right now. S5 of the mushy shrooms light cones. We have a few more leveled up, but we don't have any S5 yet, which is why Evanescia is on the event light comp. I'll probably keep her on it, to be honest. I just like having the extra crit damage, and I think our team appreciates having the extra elation as well. Anyway, also Lushaka to give our Evanescia a bit more attack, E0 as well for our EMC. It's 162 speed, like I mentioned previously, with no elation here. Whoopsie daisies. No wonder this guy does so little, but then again, he does have this light con. Actually, I think he gives them elation. Never mind. Okay, maxed out elation skill, maxed out ultimate, and then level 6 on the skill. We haven't taken the attack nodes yet. I was just focused on maxing other stuff out. To be honest, once again, just as much speed and mostly crit rate, a little bit of crit damage as we can as well. Do want to change this to a crit rate body, and then we do also have Lushaka here once again for that extra ER. Like I said, E0, but we will have him E2 by the time of the next showcase. Hua Hua, 147 speed. Her speed doesn't really matter as much. 5.5k attack as well. Sorry, HP rather. And then, yeah, you know, no relation, obviously. S5 Shed Feeling, just give our team a bit extra energy, which is nice, of course. Traces maxed out other than the basic. Warrior Goddess set just to give us a bit extra crit damage as well, just trying to get some speed as well as HP. And then Lushaka, once again, going to give our Evanescia even more attack, because there is no such thing as too much attack. So yeah, those are our character builds. Real quick, just to showcase, well, not showcase, show off my new Evanescia build. The Relic event has been very kind to us, so we have one piece from it. This isn't from it, we just built this, which is very nice, and then we have a second piece from it as well, changing our HP orb for an attack orb, so this will give us a bit extra damage as well, which is nice. Then again, if the survivability is a bit messed up, I might switch to a HP or boot set and then change our boots. But yeah, now we have 72% crit, 241 crit damage, we get basically slightly more crit and an extra 30 crit damage, which is crazy. The crit value on these pieces are kind of insane, if I do say so myself. If we take a real quick look at the battle record showcase, just to show, Evanescia has given this account a great boost, and this is not even activating her E1 yet. Like I said, we'll wait a while. Probably not going to be 4.2 MOC, maybe 4.3 MOC is what I'm thinking. We'll see. Obviously, with Himiko's form being revealed, we'll see what the pulling plans are in the future. But yeah, so 4 cycles here. 60k score here, 6.8k here, and we have the world's strongest free-to-play Evanescia. Not really, but kinda. In my own eyes, she's definitely objectively not the best, but in my view, she's really good. She's my crown achievement on this account, and honestly, this team is kinda my favorite I've ever built. Anyway, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed, and let me know how Evanescia has been for you. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.